Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. 7, 6. Commencing countdown, engines on. 3, 2. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control.
There we go, over there. We tried to get a lady for you, Barbara Morgan, but she's really got a bum knee up. She could hardly. She came down earlier with a kind of a stroller, so the boxes jumped in there at the last minute. You and I are going to share our duties tomorrow. So it's going to be a really full day. We're going to show you things that you probably haven't seen before, and we're excited about that. You'll find, I think, we're only going to have about 4 or 5 hours to tour. I think during your day, you'll find that you need to come back and spend you can spend 2 full days at the visitor complex right now and really not see things. You can spend a whole day in our beautiful Atlantis facility. It's just a wonderful complex. I still get chills and tears in my eyes when I walk through the pre-show and the show that opens up the Atlantis for you to see. So there's a
I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way, and the stars look very different today, for here am I sitting in a tin can.
Apollo 8 successfully orbited the moon, with the astronauts returned safely to the Earth. I know. I'm Jim Lovell, and I was one of the crew of this spacecraft, Apollo 8.
Regenerated fuel, 7.5 million pounds of thrust.
So in the film, it almost seems like the flame doesn't start right at the bell. It's a little farther down away from it. Or is that just a artifact?
I think it's an artifact of the film.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
The flame. 3 seconds and 15.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it too. You know, like
No,
the flame.
the flame starts in that throat there,
Okay. All right. So
and then it expands outward. You don't see some of it.
it might just be the way the film exposed.
Is at the apex of the cone-shaped spacecraft. There is a docking system that goes on the end here with a retractable probe on it that would pull the two vehicles together once you get the probe into the lunar module. Now, in back of that, what you're looking at, to see back through here to the back wall, look on top here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 built-in windows, small windows, 2 on each side, and then there's 1 in the hatch, for a total of 5 windows in this thing, so that we can do what we needed to do in terms of visual observations, in terms of photography, in terms of that kind of stuff. 1 window was left clear. There's no material in it to absorb any sunlight, so that was a window that we had to be very careful with. And we were told we could only look out that window at the sun 30 seconds during the entire flight. So we had 30 seconds of viewing out that window. On the back wall there, of course, you can't, they don't have it in here, but there's a couch that goes all the way across. It's a modular couch. There are 3 of them. Between the center couch and the 2 outside couches is a shock absorber that's fitted to the front of the spacecraft. And we could absorb a lane landing if we had to, because that shock absorber would handle it. On our flight, we lost 1 parachute. We came down a little fast. As a matter of fact, how many guys are parachutists? I'm sure there are some of you. Well, how fast do you come down in a modern parachute? Well, I'm going to guess 28 feet per second.
It's an actual airfoil that can control you.
Yeah, an airfoil. Well, actually, you can end up with no downward velocity. But if you just come down in a regular parachute, let's say a military parachute,
PC.
you're coming down at about 28 feet per second, and that's what we were designed to come down at. 28 feet per second. We lost 1 chute, and we ended up coming down at 31 feet per second. So it really didn't make a big difference. This thing was designed for 2 chutes, and the third one, of course, was a safety factor. The hatch that you see here open was something that was designed and installed after we had the fire at the Cape back in 1967. That hatch they had on that spacecraft that day was the thing that killed it. Because the program manager at the time was so concerned about losing cabin pressure once you got out into space that he built a hatch that sealed from the inside so that any positive pressure on it would just seal it more firmly. There was also a lighter outer skin that went on the outside, but the real hatch was installed from the inside of the spacecraft. Now what happened is that these guys were going through a pressure check, and they pressurized 5 psi inside the spacecraft, so they went up to 21 psi, but they did it with pure oxygen, not air. And in addition to that, the real problem was that Gus and Ed and Roger had pretty much covered all the instrument panels with foam rubber, because they, in their all the pre-flight stuff, they didn't want to hurt anything, so they kind of protected it by putting foam rubber over it. Unfortunately, at 21 psi pure oxygen and foam rubber, you don't need much of a spark to get the thing going, and that's what happened. Now, what happened is the pressure inside the spacecraft jumped to about 33, 34, 35 psi. That hatch was 1,000 square inches. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what kind of pressure it would take, and there's no way that Ed White ever would have enough strength to break the seal on that hatch. So the guys were gone. So the big thing after the fire was we had to build a new hatch. We had to build a new way of getting in and out. They were concerned about the seal. That turned out to be a non-concern. Never had a problem with it in any of the flights after that. Very well designed hatch on hinges. Very well sealed, no problem. Had a pump handle. I could push a button and pump the handle once, and that hatch would fly open. So if we ever had that happen on the launch pad again, just one pump and that hatch would be open, and the pressure inside would be lowered. What's so stupid about the whole thing is 2 things. Everybody had a hand in that accident. Everybody, the crew, management, security, safety people, engineering, everybody. Nobody saw the danger of what they were doing. Nobody troubled for that. And that's very often what happens in some of these kinds of accidents. You know, people just, it's something that they don't think about. And it's always something that you're not thinking about that's going to bite you in the ass. So, I don't know that you ever, I don't know that you ever figure out everything that's possible that could happen on a flight. But it's my opinion that the thing that does get to you is going to be the thing you don't consider. Anyway, that's why we got this hatch that you see here. This is the command module, and this is 210 cubic feet of volume in there for 3 guys. And it was very comfortable for 2 weeks. I would hate to fly something like this to Mars effect.
The finiteness of it, the limits of it, and realizing what a shame it was that people were confronting each other on that planet without realizing what it was doing to the planet. It was a very emotional moment for me. I actually shed a couple of tears. Something totally unexpected for an engineer, fighter pilot to be crying quietly up there on the moon.
why there's none left. Photoshop.